My name's John Pridmore. I was born in the East End. My parents got divorced when I was about 10, and I think I made an unconscious decision that I wasn't their love anymore, because I really thought the people you love and trust crush you the most. At 15, I was put in detention centre for stealing. My only qualification was really stealing. I used to be a gangster in the East End of London and around the West End. To my shame, I was involved in major drug deals, protection rackets, vicious crimes of all sorts. There was seldom a time that I would leave my house without a gun. I was in the clubs around here, running drugs, running protection rackets, earning vast sums of money. By the age of 27, I had a penthouse apartment in St John's Wood, earning more money than I could spend. But inside there was an overwhelming sense of emptiness. No matter what I seemed to achieve, nothing fulfilled me, nothing satisfied me. There was an incident where I thought I had killed someone, and I think that triggered something inside of me where I started searching why I was so unhappy, and I became aware of a voice speaking to my heart, and I knew that voice to be God. And I said the first prayer I'd ever said in my life. And I knew God was real, and I knew He loves me. At the age of 27, I ended up going on a retreat. To be honest, I thought a retreat was lying on the beach, Bacardi breezer, joint, nice girl, just chilling for a couple of weeks. But I ended up on this Catholic retreat, and something happened there which completely changed my life. And when I got there, the first talk I heard was "Give me your wounded heart." And as I listened to this priest speaking, somehow he introduced me to the gift of Mary. And when I came out of that talk, I said a prayer to Mary, and I just said, "What is it that your son wants me to do?" And I felt a whisper in my heart, "Go to confession." I'd never been to confession in my life. I was 27 years old. I think I had broken practically every commandment there was, and I was scared. But somehow Mary gave me the courage, and I went to confession. And I was there over an hour, and at the end of that confession, the priest put his hand on my head and absolved me from my sins. But it wasn't his hand, it was Christ's hand. Even though I knew that I was forgiven by Jesus, I still really struggled to forgive myself. I think that, I really struggled with all the terrible things I had done in the past. And it was when I looked at myself through Our Lady's eyes that I was able to forgive myself. Mary became an intricate part of my heart. It was like every time I had a problem, I'd speak it out with Mary, because she was always there as my mother. And she took my problem and gave me her peace. Whenever I was feeling alone, I'd go into a church and there'd be a statue of Mary, and I'd ask her for a hug. And I always felt that consolation of a hug from Mary. Whenever I felt too ashamed to look at Jesus because I felt too sinful, I could always look at Our Lady. And within a few moments, she had brought me back to Jesus. So I think she became an intricate part of my spiritual life, of bringing me to depths of Jesus I don't think I could have found without her. I think she's one of the greatest graces in my life, because she brings me to such wonder and graces in her Son.
Mary, the mother of Jesus, is arguably the most important woman who's ever lived.
Who was Mary of Nazareth? What part did she play in our salvation? How was she a model for us, and, most importantly, why do we need Mary today?
Christianity without Mary is a modern invention.
Mary is a finger always pointed towards Jesus.
Because of her, God became one of us. He pitched his tent among us.
She brings us to her Son, and she teaches us how to be disciples.
This 5-session series will explore these vital questions about the life and present-day reality of Mary, the Mother of God.
The Church holds Mary up before us as our greatest example of being a disciple of her Son.
She is the ultimate disciple, the total Christian, the first Catholic Christian.
Pope Benedict the 16th called her the perfect disciple.
Her discipleship begins in prayer, and it's nurtured in prayer.
Along the way, we'll visit some of the world's most famous Marian sites.
And meet inspiring experts who will help us to engage deeply with Mary, past and present.
There was a time where I would never leave my house without a gun. Now I would never leave my house without a rosary.
Ask again, and if you don't get, continue to press. Mary is that presser.
We are all called to conceive Christ, to tend Christ in the world around us.
And at each stage, we need to be able to say, let it be.